Ladies and gentlemen, we got to get serious here. Once and for all, it's time to close the bomb show loophole. Enough of these assault bombs. We need to get serious about an assault bomb ban. It's long overdue. The evidence is right in front of us. Doesn't anybody care? What are we doing? Greetings, my friends. Great to have you. Rush Limbaugh here, the EIB Network. It's broadcast excellence the next 3 hours. Telephone number 800-282-2882. So we've got Obama in Cuba saying to Raul Castro, you know what? He's got a point. We are a bunch of racist pigs, and we have done a bunch of human rights violations, and I think we've got to be open to criticism from, he wouldn't listen to any criticism from me, I will guarantee you that, but from fellow traveler Raul Castro, and then to say, hey, Raul, you and I, United States and Cuba, we have a lot in common. We were both founded by the slave trade. Little Raul is applauding. Right on, el presidente! Right on, el presidente. Then Obama says, you know what the greatest example of Cuba is? We got the greatest example of Cuba right here in the United States. It's called Miami. Cuba built Miami. I'm watching this. I'm going, I don't believe what I'm hearing. Except that I do. Barack Hussein Obama welcoming Castro's constructive dialogue on America's shortcomings on race relations and poverty. It's just incredible. It's right out there for anybody and everybody to see. That's the kind of story that everybody in America ought to be saying, you know what, Limbaugh was right. All of you who doubted me. And here's the mind-blowing headline of the day. Ready for this one? From the Politico. It is a story having to do with the terrorist attack in Brussels. Headline: why do they hate us so much? I mean, if this is a headline that screams, Limbaugh's right. Oh, my God, when I heard that, when I see that, I think of Limbaugh. Limbaugh's constantly reminding us that that's what the left thinks, that it's our fault. What have we done to make them mad? Remember after 9/11, State Department, within weeks, and not very many weeks, State Department convenes a seminar. Why do they hate us? What did we do to make them so mad? In this case, we captured the Paris ringleader. That ticked them off. We captured the Paris ringleader. They go out and they attack Brussels. You know, the political story here, how the Brussels attacks strike at the heart of Europe and shake its political foundations. And in the audio sound bites, we have people talking about how, oh, this is worse than Paris. This is horrible. Oh, this is bad. Because this is where the European Union workers, this station, this depot, this is where European Union members, they commute through there. This is where the creme de la creme of the European Union commute, live, work. Therefore, this was an attack, as Walid Faris says, an attack on the West. This was not an attack on a slum. It was not an attack on, it wasn't a random target. It was a specific target, and everybody in this country knows it. And I'll tell you why they're upset, folks. It's more than being upset at just the fact that there was a terrorist event with, 34 people dead so far climbing. I mean, that's bad. But the reason, I'm just telling you, just like I've told you, why do they hate us so much? That's the attitude. I'm right about all of this. The reason this attack has shaken them to the core is that Europe is utopia. Western European socialist democracies are utopia in their mind and in their belief systems. Places like Brussels, that's where NATO is. Why, that's where we do all the peace talks in Brussels. That's where the European Union's headquarters. That's where anybody who counts. That's where all the elites, that's it. That's where they live. That's where they govern. That's where they decide how other people are going to live. That's where they do everything involving the European Union. And this terrorist cell just struck at the heart of it. And do not doubt me when I tell you that some people in this country, but around the world, on the left, are shocked that this would be the target. They believe, since they see Europe, particularly this area there in Brussels, as the seat and the site of utopia, that the terrorists should be able to see this too. The terrorists should, and that's why why do they hate us so much? Do they not see what good we're doing? Why we're going on we won't call them what they are. Our president will not call them terrorists. We will not officially condemn Islam. We will not officially condemn terrorism. We're doing everything we can to show them that we don't blame them for anything, and they still do this to us. Oh my God, what? They can't believe it. They honestly believe conflict resolution 101. They think by not calling it terrorism, and I'm talking about the media, I'm talking about Obama, his State Department, anybody on the left, by not calling it terrorism, by not criticizing Islam, by going after people who do, by reclassifying acts of terror in this country as workplace violence, by bending over backwards to not condemn, to not criticize Islam and Islamic terrorism. They believe that sends the signal, hey, you don't have a problem with us. You don't need to attack us. We're not the bad guys. We're not going to criticize you. We're not going to condemn you. And yet they hit us anyway. And in fact, folks, it is this pansy attitude of not calling them what they are, not describing their acts of terror as acts of terror, by refusing to admit openly who they are and what they are, by refusing to seriously try to stop them. They see nothing but weakness. They're not the kind of people that sit around and say, you know what, this Obama guy, he could be our friend. Hey, you notice he won't let his State Department call us what we are. Yeah, he's providing cover for us. We need to leave him alone. These European Union guys, they're even worse than Obama. The European leftist socialists have gone out of their way. They've opened their country's borders. They have said, come on in, build mosques, whatever you want to do. We love you. Please don't hurt us. Bam! Another assault bomb goes off. Meanwhile, at American airports, 89-year-old grandma is being forced to strip down to her skivvies to find out if she has any combustible shampoo in her travel bag. Trump comes along. I'd close the borders. We got to call him what it is. They say, he's dangerous. Oh, my God, he's dangerous. He's going to cause... Wait a minute, it's already happening. How can Trump cause it if it's already happening? So... all of this generated 52 seconds of the president's attention today in La Habana. And it's La Habana, if you know what you're talking about. It's not H-A-V. Havana is for the uneducated and the unaware. It's H-A-B-A-N-A, La Habana. And Obama is in La Habana. I saw a picture of him sitting on a beach, looking out there at, well, it had to be the Caribbean. And it was in the New York Times, or maybe it was the Atlantic or something. And the picture was supposed to convey Obama in deep thought as he contemplates the next phase of his brilliant foreign policy while in Cuba, welcoming the Castros' constructive dialogue on America's shortcomings, on race relations and poverty. And this is by no means the first time. In the first term of Obama, we had some clown at the State Department. I forget the specific events, but we'd done something, and the Chi-Coms got ticked off at us and said, hey, you got no right to talk to us about human rights violations. And some Obama regime official went out to us, you know what, the Chi-Coms are right. We don't have the right to talk to them about human rights violations because we have a history of them ourselves. And so, in addition to that, Obama talks about the commonality, Cuba, United States, and the slave trade being involved in the founding of both countries. In the case of Cuba, it'd be Spanish slave trade. Castro's a Spanish name. Castro could be a descendant of one of the original slave owners that Obama's out there shaking hands with and celebrating, for all we know. Yep. There's Obama in Cuba talking about how Cuba, like America, was colonized by Europeans, by slave owners. Everything that I have tried to warn people about regarding the way Obama sees this country, he continues to demonstrate, and he did so boldly in Cuba. He didn't even try to camouflage it. He's out there. He's obviously carrying around an impression and opinion of this country is not very high, folks. And he does. I think this guy is totally at home with the people like the Castros and other powerful dictatorial types. There's an air of commonality there. And the commonality is a shared experience of discrimination by the great evil, the United States of America. That's what Obama and many of the people that support him and the Cubans have in common. They have both lived their lives fighting the evil that is the United States of America. In the case of Cuba, it is the blockade, supposedly. And in the case of Obama, it is slavery and who knows whatever the heck else grievances there are. Did you know that Brussels is also where the World Court is? These guys blew up the World Court. Well, I mean, it blew up the World Court, but that's where it is. The point is, Brussels. See, I can pivot from subject to subject just like Trump and not lose my place. In fact, where do you think he got it from? But that's another story. Fact of the matter is, Europe is nirvana to the left. Europe is the model. That's what we should be attempting to become. The equality, the fairness, the sophistication, the eruditeness, the cleverness. Europe is the new utopia. That's what, and how can these guys attack our utopia and not see it for what it is? Why are they not attacking trailer parks, for crying out loud? Why are they attacking what we think is wonderful and beautiful? And they're asking themselves, why do they hate us so much? Political. I'm not kidding. Right there it is. You can see it in DittoCam. Why do they hate us so much? How the Brussels attacks strike at the heart of Europe and shake its political foundations. All it means is, how in the hell do these guys not get it? Meaning, this is the left talking to the terrorists. How do they not get it? This is utopia. This is where we all live together equally and free. Why do they not see the goodness in us? Why do they hate us so much? We understand them hating Trump. We can understand them hating Cruz. We can understand them hating American talk radio. But why do they hate us? The American left is confused.